Alright, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Terraria. Now, as you can see, I have done some things offline, or off-screen, rather. You can see the Flawless Fox is not wearing what he was wearing before. So yeah, I did a couple things offline. The first of which is I finished my house, more or less, and I made this little crappy bedroom up here that is what I ended up having to do in order to make my spawn point at my house. However, this will actually work out well for something I plan to do later, which is also why I made this little staircase here. And you'll see and understand all of that later. But yeah, the main thing, however, that I did, you're like, whoa, where's the walkway? Where's the walkway? And then I come out here and you're like, what? Zombies raining down from the sky. That wasn't the surprise I had intended, but yeah, you can see, I've made some changes to NPC Tower here. NPC Tower no longer has a ground floor, so to speak. And there are actually NPCs living in it. You can see they have their own little banners up above in their rooms and whatnot. If I can get myself to get in here. Yeah, I've got 3 of them so far. Which is pretty freaking awesome. So, the first thing I'm going to go ahead and show you guys is, I will equip my torch here. You can see that there is literally nothing here. Nothing down here. There used to be dirt walls here. However, I found that while I was doing some other things, I was trying to figure out how the hell to get NPC Tower to work properly. I was using the hammer to try and make walls all over the place, and in fact, I've probably overdone it with the walls. You can see there's walls down here and kind of overlapping the walls there, and it's kind of ugly, but at the same time, whatever, it's NPC Tower, I don't care. But yeah, I ended up having to go online, and I had to look up a guide for Terraria NPCs, and the guide itself didn't actually show me the solution. However, it did give me the idea that there is something called a blood moon. And during a blood moon, zombies will open up your doors. So, one of the things that the guy who made the guide did is he just made his tower, or his, NPC houses or prisons or whatever he called them, he just put them up in the air. He just made them float, and it's like, well, zombies can't get to it now. Doesn't matter that the zombies can open your doors, they can't get to your doors. So if they can't get to your doors, it doesn't matter. So that was fair enough. But what actually I ended up figuring out, I think there were 2 problems with NPC Tower. The first is that I already knew that there was a minimum size for these rooms for NPCs. However, I didn't realize that there was also a maximum size. You cannot make a house exceed a certain size. If it does, they won't accept it as housing. Which sounds really stupid to me. It seems really, really counterintuitive. So that's something I never would have discovered on my own. But yeah, before NPC Tower was connected to my house over here via a walkway here and a walkway down here. So I think what was happening is it was combining the size of NPC Tower with the size of my house, which obviously my house is quite sizable. So I think I was exceeding the maximum size, and that's why no one was coming in. That was one of the reasons anyway. That's not the only reason. The secondary reason was I only had 2 rooms that had tables and chairs, so those are the only 2 rooms that NPCs were going to try and move into. And they were on the ground floor here. Damn it. I jump when I don't want to jump, and I can't jump right when I want to jump right. But yeah, there were these 2 rooms down here, and I think what was happening is I had a combination of the stone walls and the dirt walls. You can see the dirt walls down in the tunnel below me. And I think because I had two different types of walls, it was somehow they were conflicting with each other, and they just didn't want to. They just didn't want to work properly. Essentially, is what I believe was going on. But let me go ahead and show you what I did. So, like, I mentioned a number of episodes ago that on my first world with my other character, my old character, I essentially moved them in, and then I also had a problem where, like, you know, because of these dirt background walls, I couldn't make the stone walls that I wanted. So I was like, well, I guess I'll have to find a place where these walls don't exist. It didn't really occur to me that these were just like the normal dirt walls that you can actually make yourself. You can actually make dirt walls. Right here. You just need dirt blocks. But I had never made them because I'm like, I don't want dirt walls. That's so crappy. So it never occurred to me that, yeah, you can just use your hammer and erase these walls. Unfortunately, the naturally placed dirt walls will not give you dirt blocks in return. But yeah, you can, if you don't like these walls, you can just get rid of them. So I think at some point I am going to do that, most likely. I don't know exactly when I'm going to do that, but it'll be sometime. So yeah, if we look at the map, I'm essentially, what I plan to do is, you can see where I am. It's completely level, all the way from this little tunnel where I'm at the entrance of, all the way over to the end of the lake. And yeah, you can see I also modified the lake. I made the size of the lake a little bit bigger. I squared it up a little bit. And that's actually reduced the water levels, so you can't really see the water too well from the surface right now, I believe. Let me just go make sure that is the case. Yeah, you basically can't see it at all. However, I made it such that I can very easily pour water down here. That's actually why I have the buckets, and that's actually why I made this armor. I made the copper armor because every time I tried to use the buckets, I was finding that it was trying to equip the bucket as a helmet, and I really didn't want that. It was bothering me a lot, so I just made this copper armor. I was kind of holding out on getting armor at all until I could get some actual decent armor, like silver or gold or platinum or whatever. As it turns out, I have tungsten in my world. So I may make tungsten, or I may skip straight to platinum. It depends on how quickly I get the two types of ore. So what am I going to go ahead and do today? Well, what I'm going to go ahead and do... Oh, yeah, and the NPCs that I got in there. The first one was Gus. We kept seeing Gus was constantly, you know... That message was constantly popping up. Gus wants to move in. Gus wants to settle down. Blah, 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 blah. And it was really annoying. So Gus is the... He has the room on the left here. Gus and Ryan have actually switched places for now, for some reason. But... Yeah, Gus is a merchant, and he will sell you various things. Probably the most important thing that he will sell you is the piggy bank, for 1 gold. But he'll sell you various things, like you can buy shurikens from him. They're decent ranged weapons and whatnot. You can buy rope from him if you somehow manage to run out of rope and you can't get any more from pots and stuff. And if you're just super lazy to buy torches, you can buy torches from him. Probably one of the more important things also is wooden arrows. I mean, you can just make your own. They're not that hard. But you can also just buy them from him in mass. And then if you make torches yourself, what you can do is make flaming arrows. And flaming arrows are pretty nice. They do more damage than the wooden arrow, but they also set the enemy on fire. or I think maybe you need to hit him with a number of them, and they get a debuff where they constantly take damage from fire for a while. Jester's arrows are another interesting type of arrow that we won't be using for quite some time because fallen stars. I need more to get my mana up. But anyways, what I am going to be doing today. Let me check my map real quick again. There are a number of trees over there. Okay, that's interesting. I actually think what I'm gonna go ahead and do, guys, is I think very quickly off camera, I'm gonna go ahead and take this tunnel, this surface tunnel, and I am gonna go ahead and extend it all the way as far as it will go, so that I have a nice clean surface, and then I'm gonna plant trees. I think I'm gonna go ahead and plant trees, because I need to have wood. I need a lot of wood, for my mine shaft, which might not make a huge amount of sense to you guys, but basically I need it for torches and wood platforms. Oh, Eladon the Traveling Merchant has arrived. Oh, okay, well, I guess I'll go see what he has just for a second. What up, Traveling Merchant bro? Are you in here? Yeah, you are. Now, the Traveling Merchant guy is not a permanent resident. So this guy sells like random stuff. And I don't know how good any of it actually is. Ammo box. The hell? I think that must be like a really late game item. A red cape and a mysterious cape. Okay. They're just kind of looks items. Okay, they're interesting. Oh, right, and I forgot to mention the last and probably most important NPC that ended up showing up. Ooh, I can sell those. Interesting. Oh, okay, never mind. It's all 25 of them. I was like, wait a minute, those can be sold for that much? And actually, I have 2 of these mirrors. I should probably sell that one. Maybe another time, maybe another time. The third and most important NPC is this guy. I can't remember what his name is. It's like Rykos or whatever. Anyway, he's the demolition guy. He sells grenades, bombs, and dynamite. I didn't bother to buy any dynamite, but I did buy bombs. Bombs are very useful. They create a small explosion that will destroy some tiles. Now, unfortunately, the bombs like to bounce around a lot. I eventually played with them on my old character just before I started this playthrough, and I was trying to use them to destroy some corrupted tiles, because you actually can't destroy them with any kind of pickaxe that I had. I had a platinum pickaxe, and I still couldn't break them. So I was like, well, maybe a bomb can just blow them up. And as a matter of fact, they can. But they bounce around like crazy. So they're not exactly super helpful in that way. You can't really blow up the tiles that you want to blow up because they bounce around. However, what you can do is you can take a bomb and combine it with gel to make it into a sticky bomb. Which is what I have done. I now have 125 sticky bombs. And with those sticky bombs, if I ever come into a situation where I need to destroy some tiles that I can't otherwise destroy in order to get something like a chest or a life crystal, because that was actually one of the major banes of my existence on my first character in my original world, which was called Alencia. The bane of my existence was just the fact that I couldn't, I found like a whole bunch of life crystals, but I couldn't get to any of them because they were behind corruption tiles. And I was like, God damn it, I would really love to get to these, but they're behind corruption tiles, so I can't get to them. And I was super frustrated. So eventually, yeah, I tried that, and yeah, they will destroy corruption tiles, so that is fan-freaking-tastic. So yeah, that's why I have those for. I probably don't need 125 of them. That was probably quite excessive of me. However, now I shouldn't have a problem with them ever again. And I don't know. I might find other uses for them. I don't know. I haven't seen nearly all that the game has to offer. I've mentioned a couple of times that I've watched a playthrough of the game or an LP of the game from a guy I like and subscribe to on YouTube by the name of Galm. However, I think his series was like 50-something episodes. I've only watched up to episode like 15. Like I said, I only watched up until he fought the Eye of Cthulhu, and then I was like, okay, I need to play this game myself, and I don't want to spoil everything. So I stopped there. So I really don't know a whole hell of a lot about the game. I just kind of know a lot of the beginner stuff, and I've seen a couple of other things. Because I was looking up various things online, like, how the hell to get NPCs to move into my houses. That was one thing that was annoying the hell out of me. And because of that, eventually I found it on the guy's channel. I don't remember what his name was. I saw his channel. His name was like Guide something, or Gamer Guide or something like that. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'll check this guy out. And yeah, I eventually found the answer, but I also found various other things that kind of, I guess, spoiled the game for me. Mainly just one thing, but it was actually a thing that I already suspected, so I don't know how much you would really call that a spoiler if I already suspected it. And I'll go into that eventually. I'm not going to go into that right now. Okay, so that brought me out to here. That's good. We'll go ahead and just harvest the trees that are here right now. Because, I mean, I'm already here, so I might as well. But yeah, I need a whole bunch of wood for platforms and torches and whatnot. Because I am going to go pretty darn deep with my mining platform, or my mining shaft. And the reason for it is it was actually in the last couple of episodes. I went way the hell down there to try and find me some cobwebs in order to make silk, in order to make the bed, and have a spawn point that would not, destroy my building every time I respawned there. Which was, a problem. I don't want that. I don't need that in my life. I would like to not have to remake my buildings 5 billion times. But yeah, so I went down there just looking for cobwebs, and I ended up finding a lot of other things that I kind of want and need to a certain extent. I guess I'll put some torches up in here just because I can always grab them later.